The Unusual Doctor by Ian Bond. Once upon a time, many years ago, there was a doctor in Montenegro, a small town near Armenia in Kindia. This doctor was called Alberto Escalpelo, and he worked in a small clinic behind the Casa de Cultura in Montenegro. Alberto Escalpelo was a mysterious man because he didn't have any friends in town and he never went out. No one ever saw him in a bar or restaurant, and as far as we know, he never went to the supermarket to buy food. Some people say that Alberto came from Pasto with his family around 40 years ago, but maybe this is just part of the Escalpelo legend. Many people went to the doctor for treatment, but nobody ever asked him personal questions, so most information about him will always be a secret. There were certificates on his wall, but some people say they were in Chinese, and some people say they were in Arabic, so who can we believe? This story begins with little Dora Ruiz. She went to the doctor with a sore toe. She woke up one morning, and as soon as she put her left foot on the floor, she felt the pain in her toe. She tried to walk to school, but it was too painful, so as she was passing the door, she decided to go into Dr. Escalpelo's clinic and ask for help. There was no receptionist and no bell, but as soon as she went into the reception, the door magically opened and the doctor called out, "Come in, Dorita." Dora slowly went in to the completely white room with white curtains, a white table and 2 white chairs. Dr. Escalpelo was sitting in his white coat, holding a white pen, and he indicated for Dora to take a seat. He had a nice face with a big smile, and Dora was happy to be there now, even though her toe still hurt a lot. She sat down in the big white chair, and Dr. Escalpelo smiled and said, "So, Dorita, when did your toe begin to hurt?" Dora was surprised because the doctor knew what her problem was before she had told him. Well, this morning, just 1 hour ago," she said, still confused. Said the doctor. "And which toe is it that hurts?" Dora had to think for a second. "It's the one on the end, sir," she said, pointing to her left foot. "Oh, the one on the end," repeated the doctor. "Yes," said Dora. The doctor looked worried and said, "The one on the end, oh dear, that's not good, is it? The one on the end, oh dear." Dora was beginning to get worried now. She thought that maybe she could go to school now, and maybe the toe would stop hurting by the end of the day. "Actually, doctor, it doesn't hurt very much now. I think I will go to school." The doctor stood up, saying, "Oh, no, my dear little Dorita, you cannot walk to school when your toe is hurting so much. Let's take a look at it, shall we?" Before Dora could react, the doctor came around the table and lifted Dora's foot up in the air and started taking off her shoe. The doctor looked at her foot and started repeating, "Oh dear. Oh dear, this isn't good." And he gently touched her big toe with his fingers. Oh dear, he said again. Dora looked up at the doctor and said, "But doctor, it's the other toe. It's the toe at the other end. It's my little toe that hurts, not the big toe." The doctor quickly moved his fingers to the other side of her foot and looked at her little toe, saying, "Yes, I know. I just needed to check your big toe to see if it may have the same problem." "You're being very brave," said the doctor. "There is nothing to worry too much about. I have seen a few worse cases than this, and I was able to save the legs of some of the people." Dora nearly fell off the big white chair when she heard these words. "But doctor, it's just a sore toe. Don't you have a cream or a pill or something to stop the pain?" The doctor looked at her with his mouth open. "A cream? A pill?" he said in a very surprised manner. "Yes, I could give you a cream or a pill, and you would go off to school and forget all about it." Dora was bewildered now. "So, can I have something?" she asked nervously. "Oh, no, my dear, oh dear, no. No pills and no creams for you, my princess. You have a very rare case of piggy-wiggitis, which can only be cured by my genius, mixed with some medical incantations and essence of camel toe." Dora was shocked, and she wanted her mum, and she started to cry. Albert Escopolo was a nice man, and he hated it when people cried. "Oh dear, no more tears. Everything will be fine. I have everything we need." The doctor put Dora's foot gently on the floor again and went to a large white cupboard with white doors and white handles, and opened the door on the left. Inside were shelves, white shelves, full of white bottles, hundreds of small white bottles with white labels with no names. The doctor went along the shelves, saying the names of the contents of the bottles as if he were reading them. Navel fluff, earwax, green bogey, kneecap lubricant, hairy hairs, teardrops. Here it is. Essence of camel toe. Dora was shaking and terrified. She wanted to escape, but the doctor was too fast, and in a quarter of a second he was in front of her again, lifting up her foot and putting it into a small, soft, white towel on top of a small, white, soft stool. He had a triangular white cloth which he waved over Dora's foot 3 times, saying, "Piggy wiggy, piggy wiggy, piggy wiggy, let's get busy." And the cloth disappeared in front of Dora's eyes. She was going to ask the doctor where it was, but didn't want to interrupt him now. Dr. Escalpolo took the white bottle with no name, which he said had contained essence of camel toe, and he gently took off the top, and immediately Dora noticed a strong smell in the room. It was a strange smell, sweet but fishy, but nice too. She noticed that the doctor was smiling as he took her foot in his right hand and let a few drops of the camel toe essence fall onto her skin. The essence was warm, and suddenly Dora wasn't scared at all. The doctor put the bottle on the small white table beside the large white table and gently took Dora's big toe in his hand and started with the incantation. "This little piggy went to market." Then he moved to the next toe. "This little piggy stayed at home." Once again he moved to the next toe. "This little piggy had roast beef." The 4th toe. "And this little piggy tried some." And then he finally arrived at Dora's little toe, the one which was sore. "And this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home." The white room, the white tables, the white walls, and everything that was white suddenly changed colour, and then changed colour again. It was like a rainbow was passing through the room. The doctor's coat was blue, and then orange, and the chair Dora was sitting on suddenly became yellow. Dora had never seen anything so amazing in her life. She sat watching this amazing, spectacular show as the lights flashed around her and she tried to look at everything in the room. Even the doctor's pen changed colour 3 times. Then, all of a sudden, everything went whiter than white, the whitest white in the world, and Dora had to close her eyes, but she could still see all the colours inside her eyes, and then everything stopped. The lights were still, and Dora felt warm. She opened her eyes and got a big surprise. She was standing outside Dr. Escalpolo's clinic. Outside! The door was open, exactly as it was before. She walked towards the door, and then she noticed her toe didn't hurt. What had happened? She was sure she had woken up with a sore toe. She was sure she had tried to walk to school, and she was also sure that she had arrived at the clinic. But now she wasn't sure of anything. She decided to take a look inside the door. She walked into reception, and the door magically opened, and a voice called out, "Come in, Dorita," exactly like before. She slowly peeped around the door, and her eyes nearly exploded. The room was yellow, all yellow. Yellow tables, yellow chairs, yellow curtains, everything was yellow, everything. She looked across the table. There was a very old man sitting there writing with a yellow pen. He looked up at her and said, "Hello, my little friend. I haven't seen you for such a long time. It is lovely to see you. I'm always happy when I see you because I don't get many patients these days. How is your toe these days?" Dora looked around her. The curtains were old. The table was old. The cupboard doors were old. The chairs were old. And everything was yellow. Everything. The doctor smiled. He was such an old man. Dora thought he must be at least 90 years old. What was happening? He asked her to take a seat, and Dora sat in the old yellow seat in front of the doctor's yellow desk. And she said, "What has happened to you?" And the doctor replied, "Nothing, my dear. Absolutely nothing. I have been here all the time. Nothing happens here. Only time passes." The doctor looked at Dora and she tried to smile, but she was very confused. "Am I dead?" she asked. The doctor started to laugh. "Dead? Why do you think you are dead, Dorita? You are wonderful, my dear. I wish all my patients of 70 years old were so healthy." Dora looked at the doctor and then looked down at her hands. She had the hands of an old woman. She looked at her legs. She had the legs of an old woman. Dora Ruiz looked at her reflection in the mirror. Dora Ruiz was, in fact, 70 years old. But where did the time go? Who knows?